Welcome to another Blender tutorial. There's not actually a tutorial in itself, as much as is a collection of tips and tricks. Uh, and in this video, we'll talk about clearing up the view while you're editing something in Blender. What I mean by that, you'll see in a short while. So you have a scene that looks something like this. I know it's nothing complicated, but you have a lot of objects that can obstruct your view when you want, for example, to edit an object like this one here, and you need to have access to other corners of it. And also, if this object contains some other inside geometry that is actually part of the object. So what I mean by that is, if I would select this and move it out, they're actually still just one object. They're just separate meshes, but they're of the same object. And if you need to make modifications to this, but this cube here can be obstructing your view, you basically will need a way to separate the objects to let you work on the inside of the object without actually having to be obstructed by the other object. And how would you do that? Well, first of all, you, for example, can go in one of the view, top, side, or front, and press Alt B. And by pressing Alt B, then you hold click and drag an area, something like, wait, I did something wrong, and drag an area around where the object that you want to edit would be, and then somewhere inside this cube, so we draw the area something like this, and suddenly everything is gone and we actually can see inside the object. So basically what this tool does is it cuts a slice of the viewport, and you can basically edit just what's within that slice. Everything else is cut and disappears. And to revert the cut, you just press Alt B and it goes back to normal mode. Another thing you can do is hide different objects that you don't need to work with right now. So basically you get them out of the way without actually having to modify anything by them. So you select the object and press the H key, and they become hidden. To unhide the object, you can do two things. You can either press Alt H to make everything reappear, or here in the outliner, you can see you have all these objects listed here, and you can click on on each of the eyes here to make them appear or disappear. And you can have more objects here. For example, you can make them unselectable. See, you can select that cube, for example, nor this sphere, or you can make them unrenderable. So basically, if I press the render key, nothing would be rendered because they're hidden to the renderer. So you can see the utility of that. And there's another way which can allow you to edit objects separately, but in the end have them bring back together for rendering, is by using layers. So I have this cube here, and for example I can take this cube, press the M key, and press the number 2, and I moved it to the second layer. This object, I can also move it to the second layer, and I can move this object to the third layer, and many other layers really. And I can view each layer separate, or if I click shift, I can view more layers at a time. And yeah, this is useful. And also the layers affect the rendering. So when you render the scene, it's important to see in which layer you are. You can also work with advanced options to make it render only some layers, or this renders all the layers. Now we render only this layer. Of course, this layer is all black because there's actually no light in this layer, so each layer needs its own light source. So I hope this tips video helped you. This is the end.